This is the HenrysChild Podcast. Am I crazy? Or am I just raving?
Hello again, beautiful humans, and welcome to episode 75 of the Am I Crazy or Am I Just Raving podcast. I first off wanted to start off in the place of gratitude and appreciation for the feedback that I got from episode 74. And as it turns out, most folks would rather see my face than just hear my voice. So I can already tell that this relationship is really going to go to the next level. I'm very, very excited about that. And video podcasting, I thought it was a thing. I used our content delivery network, and it turns out I just uploaded it twice. So for now, we're going to have to look at this on YouTube and Facebook and maybe work with Spotify to get a few things kind of up and rolling. But anyway, for those of you who are just listening to this through the podcast delivery system, I will try to do a better job of explaining what's on the screen, and so that things sort of make sense. And of course, the big news that I have starting out is that 1 week from today, which is going to be Friday, February 18th, 2022, 7 Second Circle is going to play with Hyding Jekyll and the House of Dorothy Gale at the Wow Hall. We are no strangers to playing to the Wow Hall, as you know, and we're very excited to be playing with a newly reformed Hyding Jekyll, which is great, and to be a part of this awesome historic venue. So you can get tickets on our website. Let me actually show you really quick where that is. If you go over to the, here's the home, and over to the right-hand side, there's the Performances tab. If you click on the first link up here, the Hyding Jekyll 7 Second Circle House of Dorothy Gale link, that will bring you here to be able to get tickets. So buy your tickets in advance. They're a little bit cheaper, and we're very, very excited to see you at the show. So it's been quite a while since 7 Second Circle has played out, and Andrew is also going to be there as well. So in celebration of this, I've actually put together a Spotify playlist of all the songs that 7 Second Circle will be performing. All of these are actually in order, with the exception of one song which is not uploaded to Spotify, which is going to be on the new record, and we're going to play that live for you. But again, it is an awesome, awesome celebration. We have the in-ears going, we have all the tracks going, so it's literally like the record. It's amazing. And Brian's voice is like spot on right now. So Toby put a lot of effort and energy into getting those live tracks, and it's going to really pay off. I think you're going to really, really super duper enjoy it. So that being said, I wanted to play a clip today. And the clip I wanted to play is from the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And I know that recently he's been in the news, and it sort of invoking this kind of pain body that exists with a lot of people. And so the idea is not related to what actually the podcast is, but rather the contents of it. So the backstory is that I was listening to this particular episode at work, just kind of on in the background, and I heard Jordan Peterson launch into a diatribe relating to music. And by the time my ears started to kind of make the connection between the two, he was crying. It was like super intense moment. And he was so touched and so moved just by his own words that he became overcome with emotion. Now, keep in mind, this is Jordan Peterson, right? This is normally somebody who's fairly well reserved and is very well respected in many circles, and not exactly somebody who I think you would see at a Ramon show, right? And that being said, it caught my attention first. And then secondly, I was like, there's something going on here. And like any good podcast, they start out talking about things like testing on monkeys to, life being nothing but patterns. And then, of course, that's how they actually started talking about music. So I've edited out, this was probably like an hour into the episode itself, but it's definitely worth taking a glance at. And normally I would say to stick to a science-only sort of worldview when it comes to sort of this sort of stuff. But Jordan Peterson's reaction, it's not only surprising, but I could also relate to it. So how he literally worked himself up into a frenzy is what you're about ready to see. So what I got from this, and this is my initial thought, was it's really moving away from this polarizing me world to a transmuted we world. And more importantly, the way I interpret this is what he's about ready to describe is why live shows are so important. So important. Because if we just play music in our bedroom, we're just playing music in our bedroom. It's kind of like if the tree falls in the wilderness, right? Do you hear it? Does it create a sound? It's time. It's time to move to a we culture. It's time to get over all the information, disinformation, all the other things that are so concerning to the world. And it's time to become together. It's time to come together. So that's my interpretation. With that in mind, give this a listen. Check out Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Within minutes of putting this up on YouTube, I was served a copyright claim. This isn't a strike against the Henry's Child channel, but rather it is the refusal to put up that excerpt that I wanted to share with you. If you want to see this episode in its entirety, go to the February 11th, 2022 release on the Henry's Child Facebook page to see the video in its entirety. I apologize for this. It obviously was my intention to share something very powerful with you, and this is a great example of why the decentralization of the web is going to be very important now and moving forward into the future. So again, sorry I couldn't present this, guys. Go to Facebook to see the entire video, and we'll continue with the podcast. Wow, I tried to find a good exit point, but the reality is sometimes those things are really hard to break down. But wasn't that super intense? I mean, just to reflect on a little bit of what happened there, was some really deep stuff there, man, right? Like music is just like the world, it's patterns. I mean, it's no secret that I work in IT, and so I see patterns every day. Whether it's attacks or whether it's requests from marketing, there's always some sort of pattern or something that's occurring. And so also the zone of proximal development is a pretty deep concept as well. But you can relate to that when it says, come dance with us between chaos and order. And every time that we do that, every time we have a show, every time that Andy does his pumping, every time that we play Headlights, we play Failure. I mean, we're dancing on the edge of chaos and order. It's like a nostalgia and what's happening now. It's this beautiful paradox, if you will. And that's the line that we create in the world, or that the world creates around us. That's why we play music, and moving again from a me perspective to a we world. And so that's why it's so important that we hope that you are able to attend the show at the Wow Hall and come and support us. As I wrap this up, just a couple things. We actually are still in need of a sound person for the show on April 16th. That's going to be in Roseburg, down at a club called Rio. If you know anyone who likes to run sound, just have them reach out to me. You can always write directly to HenrysChild at HenrysChild.com. That is the fastest way to get a hold of us, over email. Both 7 Second Circle and Henry's Child have newsletter lists. Sometimes when there's big shows like this, I'll send to both lists. On the screen right now, I'm showing you the homepage of the 7 Second Circle website. And underneath the section that says free music is a little blank section that says name and email. If you actually enter in your name, just one word works, your email, and then hit the download button, you will get a song sent to you. But more importantly, you'll actually be on the newsletter list. So if you're not signed up, please go sign up there. Again, looking forward to seeing you next Friday, February 18th at the Wow Hall, playing with Hyding Jekyll. The great words of Rex Morningstar: if you're going to do it right. Take care of yourself and those you love. I appreciate you humans. I'll see you next Friday. See you then.
It came out my mouth.